Hey everyone, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're calling in from. Today is going to be another session of Summer 2021 web series with your host, Matthew Smith. Today we're going to be talking about maximum exposure using Marketplace Direct and Marketplace Pro with syndication. There's going to be two points of this conversation, and I'm kind of walk you through different aspects of the program. We'll get started here in just 1 minute. You are in listen only mode. That means I cannot hear you. It doesn't mean that I don't want to hear you. I want to have you put any of your questions in the question area, any comments in the question area so I can get to you. Everybody should be able to see my screen as well as hear me right on microphone. So we'll get started here in just 1 second. I'm going to do a couple of quick little polls. First off, like I have been lately, I'm going to find out, what is your specialty? I want to know, are you investment sales, leasing, tenant rep? I do it all, executive management, marketing support. And we'll let that run just here for 1 quick second. Perfect. A lot of I do it alls, a lot of executive managements, marketing, and support. So it's good to see that we're hitting the right folks on that. I'll start closing that. Now I want to ask another one. Do you have a website? I know it might sound simple, but this is going to kind of tie into things. You don't, but you wish you did. Yes, you do. I do, but it's run by corporate. And it looks like I spelled corporate wrong or actually typed it wrong there. So I apologize. But I promise that is corporate there on that poll. So look, if you have your website, that is fantastic. That's what we're trying to talk about is maximum exposure using the Marketplace Pro syndication with Marketplace Direct, kind of a one place, one price, one login portion you'll see here. And then also wanted to, just out of curiosity for myself, if I was a buyer looking to get more information on your property that you are listing, this would have to do to sales side. I wanted to get an offering memorandum. I wanted to access due diligence information or DD information. Is it email? Is it Dropbox? Is it Google Drive? Are you using the Real Next Deal Room to do this? Is it OneDrive? Again, this is for my own selfishness here, and I want to share this because this is really interesting to see. I'm going to close this just here in 1 second. All right, 1, 2, 3, and let's close that. And then I'm going to go ahead and share that. It looks like about 13% do Dropbox, 38% use Real Next Deal Room, and 50% use email. Now, look, there's no wrong way to distribute DD information or offering memorandum. There's just different ways to do that, and I'm going to kind of walk you through that process here today. So as always, if you have our program, follow along. If you don't, this is all recorded, and any of the reps here can give you kind of a login. So let's talk about two different things. One is going to be Marketplace Pro, and that's going to be the syndication with Marketplace and Marketplace Pro. So what is Marketplace? Marketplace is going to be a place that you can go ahead and you market your property for sale, for lease. Also, if you have space needed or investment wanted, you can go ahead and display that. So it's a commercial real estate MLS. The information gets indexed on Google, and you can go ahead and put your listing information. Now, due to time constraints and everything, I'm not going to talk too much about this, but if you click the upper left-hand corner here and then open up that hamburger, you'll be able to land on our CRM program. Now, there's a few ways to get your information into Marketplace. One is if you're in the CRM program and you're logged right in here, you want to go over to the property side of things, and you can do one of two. One is you can send it over to Marketplace directly from that property. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up Retail Trails. If I want this directly to go for sale or for lease, I can simply just click on list. Then I can say for sale or for lease. That information is going to be directly pushed out to Marketplace. Now, it doesn't make that property active yet, but it's going to go ahead and put it into a queue. So for sale, then hit go to, and it'll take me right to Marketplace. You can also be in Market Edge. So if you're using the CRM and you want to create a flyer marketing package, you can hit Analyze Go To, and then from Market Edge, you can take it into Marketplace. Or if you just have Market Edge and you're not using the CRM, inside of Market Edge, you can go in there as well and you can send that out to Marketplace. So we give you a couple different options if you're currently using the full navigator, if you're using just the CRM, or if you're just using Market Edge to allow your information to get pushed out to Marketplace. You also can come into Marketplace itself, and when you're in Marketplace, you can come right over here and you can say add new. Once you click add new, it'll walk you through the different steps to add that new property. Type in a property name, and you do have the ability to put for sale for lease as well as space wanted and investment wanted. Once you go ahead and you populate that information, you'll see a listing just like this, and if it's active, you'll see it active. If you moved your listing from Market Edge or CRM into here, it'll bring you into a page just like this. Inside of here, you're going to have your top section of more information you can fill in. Oops. Let's go back and try to readjust that. This information, if you click on each one of these buttons, or if you come down here, it'll allow you to fill in more information. Now, again, if you're using the integrations with Market Edge and CRM, most of this information is going to be populated for you, as well as the photos, videos, or additional attachments that are in there. Rent roll information or units will come across as well. So this is going to be your Marketplace information. And then what you want to do is you're simply going to go ahead and check this box that says searchable. What's really neat about this is we're trying to streamline that process for everybody, again, to get maximum exposure. But we also want to make sure that it's not taking up a tremendous amount of your time by duplicating that entry. Once you make this searchable, this will bring it to Marketplace Direct. It'll also bring it to a syndication channel. So let's talk about that syndication channel. So we added our listing into here. There's other videos that walk you through how to add a listing. You can also come up here to guide me to add that listing. Once you go ahead and make it searchable, it'll go ahead and appear on your own website if you have Marketplace Direct. And then you can also go ahead and you can use that syndication channel. So what does that mean for me, and what is syndication, and how does all that work, Matt? Well, again, we want to get you maximum exposure. So the more people that see your property for sale or for lease, hopefully the more people that can fill that vacancy or buy that property or make an offer. Okay, well, what does my Google Drive or Dropbox or email have to do with anything? That's all, again, going to incorporate this so we get maximum exposure and we can work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So once you go ahead and hit this box searchable, and that's going to go ahead and put it on the open market. So if someone goes and searches RealNext Marketplace for a property, or they go to Google, hopefully all that information gets indexed properly and your property is going to put up there. On the syndication portion, if you click syndication, it's going to bring you to an additional page here. Right now, here are the syndication channels we have, although they are limited. We are trying to find some of the best channels for you. Brevitas, LDCRE, Quantum Listing, Space List, Tenant Base, and Commercial Edge, with many, many more coming. To connect an account, you just simply click on Connect an Account, and then you're going to go ahead and type in the information to that account. If you do not have an account, you'll be redirected like to Brevitas and so forth, so you can create an account. Some of these accounts are going to be at no additional cost. Some of these accounts are going to be at additional cost. You'll have to check with each site to see if there's an additional cost. Once your account is connected, you'll see that it goes from not connected to connected, and then your listings in the future will automatically go to that site. And again, what you're doing is you're putting your information in one place, hopefully in the CRM or in Market Edge. It's pushing over into Marketplace. For Marketplace, it's going into one of these additional channels, or maybe all 6 additional channels. Again, we're trying to get you maximum exposure. Now, if we go back out of the syndication channel and we go back into our listing, if we make this searchable and then we click back one more time, I want to show you something that's really cool. Back listing here. What you want to do then is you're going to go ahead and click on Deal Room. And if you're using the RealNext Deal Rooms, make sure you syndicate your property with a deal room attached. So what that will allow you to do is if I type in 123 anywhere here and hit save, now I have my DD room attached to that. It'll be on the syndication channel, and then it can also go to our Marketplace Direct. So the reason I wanted to find out if everybody uses Google Drive, Dropbox, email, or what they're doing to get their information out there is because I want to be able to make sure that you're getting maximum exposure on your listings, but you're also having someone to be able, when they view that listing, to be able to take action when they view that listing. So remember, you put your information in your CRM, it pushes out to Marketplace, you add your listing into Marketplace, it syndicates to different channels. If you tie your deal room in here, people then can access your information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can share the information on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. And the next thing that you're going to be able to do if you have Marketplace Direct, which I hope you do, if you don't, you can always inquire with your sales rep and we can go ahead and get this. And again, what we want to do is get you maximum exposure. So what we would do is we would input a simple iframe that would look just like this on your website. So if someone comes to your website, they can see properties for sale or for lease. They can see the agents and the agents listings that are out there and how many listings those agents have. They can use our mapping. So if you wanted to put in a tool for radius search, a polygon, or even traffic conditions, you can do so. The clients would be able to print different reports off that. So if we wanted to look at different properties for lease, I can select those 3 properties. I can say print, listing detail, and now your clients are going to be able to print out a nice little report and the listing detailed information on each one of those properties and get more information on those properties. Another thing that they're going to be able to do is they're going to be able to access your war room or DD room. Now, since we're on a property for lease, you're not going to be able to see that on here. But if someone wanted to come to your website, get more information on this property for sale or for lease, and if you had one of our war room DD rooms, they can access the information there. So again, we want to talk about maximum exposure. You can imagine if you go back into watching some of the other webinars like More Smiles and Less Dials, that we talk about email marketing, that you can go from the CRM program, you can then create a marketing package in Market Edge, you can push that to Marketplace, you can syndicate that listing to other syndication channels so it's getting exposure there. Without duplicating any information, you can have it populate your website. You can create a private secure war room. You can link it into here. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, anybody can access that information. So it looks like there's 50% people using email. Email is great, but email is going to be responsive. I have to email Paul or Melissa to say, hey, can I have information on that marketing package? If you send it to me in an email, you probably don't know whether it downloaded that marketing package or not. You don't know how many times I have, or you don't necessarily know all my information. If you put it in as an attachment on your listing, you might not be able to see who downloaded that attachment, when they downloaded, or anything else. And in the deal room, you have full control over that. So what would that allow is, it would allow someone to be able to go to your website, access one of your deal rooms, and I'll open the deal room link up here in just 1 second. Go to a private branded deal room, register and log in, and you'll get an email. Hey, Vladimir, just wanted to let you know that you have a new lead that logged into your deal room. Your deal room link would look something like this that they would access. Your company here, they can register 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So when you're sleeping, when you're out doing other stuff. So Dan, I know you're busy out there selling every church in Nevada. Someone can access your website, boom, right here from the property. You didn't have to duplicate any information. They access the secure vault. You're allowing them to get information they want. If you open escrow, you can change security levels and they can get DD information. And then once you go ahead and you sell your property, you simply come back into the listing itself, you hit edit, you mark it as a sold property, and it automatically takes it off your website. Now, it's not only going to take it off the website there, but it will take off the syndication channels as well. So you can imagine going in and listing your property, marketing it active, adding a deal room into it, sharing it on social media, having it go to your website, having it go to syndication channels and do email marketing where people can access the DD room 24 hours a day, 7 days a week is great. If you send me a Dropbox link, Chanel, I can't go ahead and track that. I mean, there's no way for you to track whether or not I clicked on it, or if there is, what information I downloaded or when I did. Or if you put that Dropbox link on RealNext's listing site or other listing sites, you can't tell who I am. And it's really important that you do. Now, it's interesting that I actually went through a listing like this, saw the deal room, clicked in it because there's a property I was looking at, and had a phone call within minutes of someone in there. So it appears that when they register, can they acknowledge a CA but not actually sign it? So yeah, so inside of there, it's going to be electronically CA. So when you go ahead and register the deal room, it's an electronic signature. So they don't physically sign it, but it works similarly to, you know, like I'm doing a HELOC right now on my property, and literally I just have to hit a button to accept it, and then they can transmit everything electronically with me. It works similarly to that. I'm not an attorney, but as long as you have your confidentiality agreement uploaded, and it probably has some where it's stating by you know, acknowledging this, it's going in there, that should work for you. I'm not an attorney, so you might want to talk to your attorney about it, but it's going to be an electronic one. So let's see here, let's go register for the deal room. And you can actually, anybody can register, look at a confirmation email, and then it's going to bring up your CA. On the left-hand side, since I'm already registered to this one, on the left-hand side, it's going to say that you acknowledge it. And I think by acknowledging it, it counts as a signature. But again, I'm not an attorney. You might want to talk to your attorney about it. I've never seen a problem with it or have one where there's been an issue of it, where someone is going on that. But again, you can speak to your attorney on that one. But just imagine the simplicity of going from one section of the program to another section of the program without doing anything additional, and then simply hitting active. Now, we always think about, man, Matt, you know what? It takes me 15 minutes to add this property. That's not a lot of time. And I say, Cedric, well, 15 minutes is a lot of time. How long does it take you to take it off the property? Well, it takes me another 15 minutes to take it off. Okay, well, there's 30 minutes. We can go ahead and simply check one box, and it's not only going to your website, but it's going to 6 other channels plus your website. And then when you uncheck the box, it's taking it off 6 other channels, plus it's taking it off your website. And then drop the box, get rid of Dropbox, get rid of your email, just sending out the DD information or the offering. Tie your email into a deal room link with giving them a teaser flyer. Hey, Brad, here's an email on property 123 Main Street. Here's a simple flyer. Here's a link to access the full offering memorandum, including the rent roll. A, you're protecting yourself. B, you're protecting your client. And C, you are now generating leads and keeping track of those leads, and you can put that information back in the CRM program. I see 38% of the people on this call are using the RealNext deal room. And if you are using that deal room, make sure that you do add that on your listing side, and you simply just come in here and add the deal room in there. And you can see here, we can see that I have a presentation. I had one view, and it was viewed on July 29th of 2021 at 5:08 p.m. And it was by Antonio Macromedia. Annie here viewed one of mine on 9/2/21. Now I have her information. I have her phone number. I can reach out to Annie. And this is one of my test deals here. And now I can reach Annie and say, Annie, did you want to make an offer on the property? What's your interest level? I can add her back in my CRM program, and I can start building up a profile for Annie of what she's interested in. Right now, the market's crazy. And what's interesting about this market that's going on is we as investors are happy to tell a broker what we want so we can get directed to other information. Also, once they register one time on the website, they don't need to register each time. They won't need to register each time to the deal room. They just need to go ahead and sign off on the CA, which is nice. So again, they're not having to re-register every time for the deal room. So you can imagine coming in here and clicking one button, and then instantaneously your property is now on your website, showing it for sale or for lease. It's integrated in your deal room, and now you can go back and take a nap, go to sleep, go out and do something else. I was talking to a good buddy of mine, Michael, today, and he laughed. He's like, Matt, I'm busy, ha, 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 and it was all funny because he knows that I'm going to poke holes, and when he says he's busy, I'm going to poke holes in and show him all the things that he can be doing and streamline it more. And he is a prospective client. We became friends over the period of time where he's looking at moving to our program, and he just said, "Hey, I'm making a decision to go to RealNext." But these are the things that we're showing you how to streamline that process. Now, if you missed our more smiles, less styles, from the same screen here, if you go ahead and you click on campaign, you can say campaign here, and within a couple seconds, you not only have your listing on your website, you have it syndicated to other channels. Now you can also go ahead and create an email campaign in here, tie a link into the flyer, a link into the deal room, and send it out to your group of buyers in your database. But what if you want to send it to the RealNext community? You can. So I have a single tenant triple net property I want to send out. It's a CVS building I want to send out for the whole nation for $159. But I tied in a virtual secure deal room that's now going to generate me new clients, because as they register in here, now I'm going to have their contact information, which you can see here. I have Scott and Annie's information. Now I'm going to build up a profile for them in RealNext, and I have new leads that I can market to in the future. So you can imagine, Melissa, how efficient that would be, that we're going to get maximum exposure for this. We're going to go and take Damon's information, we're going to populate it into the CRM system, and we're going to call him up and say, "Hey, Damon, you looked at 123 Anywhere. I wanted to let you know I have 3 other properties that I'd love to introduce you to as well. What was your reason of looking at 123 Anywhere?" and start building that up. So when you do the email campaigns, you can put a teaser flyer in there, or a link to something else, but try to tie in that deal room, especially if you're sending it out to our list or anybody else's list of information on there. And again, that's going to give you maximum exposure. So tie in the email campaigns, look at adding the Marketplace Direct to your website. We have many different designs. We even have a new design that we're coming out with that we can do some custom. So if you have in a larger organization want some customization, you can see here like MDL's got theirs, how it goes with the map view, and then lower. And then here's another one here for Pacific Coast Commercial. Here's another one for NAI Summit. These are simple and easy. If you already have Marketplace Direct, you understand the power. If you don't have Marketplace Direct, you can email your rep or myself, and I can spin you up a code so you can see what it would look like. There's no cost. We'll spin you up a code and say, "Hey, here's what it would look like with your listings," and you can see what it would be like. It's a very minimal cost to add it on to your RealNext subscription. You can get into it. And again, if you have the navigator, start using those deal rooms in there. I'd love to see it. I get emailed marketing packages all the time. I downloaded the marketing packages. Guess how many phone calls I get? 0. I guarantee you, if I log into your deal room, Brad, you're going to be giving me a call right away and saying, "Hey, it's Brad and Craig, wanted to reach out to you, Matt. You logged in our deal room. Get some more information on me." So we want to kind of keep this short. There wasn't a lot to go over. Really, it's going to be about the email campaigns. It's going to be about the syndication. Make sure you sign up for those syndication channels and connect to them. We are looking at adding a bunch more. So if there is a channel that you're like, "Hey, I think you guys, RealNext, it'd be the best thing in the world if you can send your listings to this site or that site," let us know and we'll take a look at it, and we'll see if we can form a partnership with them and add them into that. Add your deal room into that, and then take a look at adding in this Marketplace Direct. I'm telling you, it's huge to have this on there. If you go to your website and you don't see your listings for sale or for lease, you need to. You need to have that information. We can set something up like this in minutes to create the code. And if you're not a web designer, no problem. We have web designers on staff. We can help update your website. We can design a website. We can redesign your website. And we can even assist you with putting this in. We also are doing this now. You're starting to see this with CCIM. So now CCIM is taking advantage of it in different states. You'll start seeing this listing plugin in there. And when I go to these websites, I can get more details on these properties. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get access to their deal room information, so I can go and make an offer on their vacant land or anything else that I want. So a lot of cool functionality in a program. Look forward to speaking with you guys next week. I am under the weather here this week, so I tried to fake it as much as I possibly could. So if you did have questions, I might not have been able to answer every one of them for you. But that should walk you through CRM to market edge to marketplace, CRM to marketplace, marketplace to syndication, all that information to your marketplace direct, one place, one price, one login, including the deal room. Put a deal room up there. I promise you, it's going to change the way you do things. Cedric, I expect to see a deal room up later today, man, because I know you're an all-star when it comes to that stuff, and I can't wait to see everybody when I come up to Irvine in November. If anybody has any additional questions, please push them through there. I've tried to answer them as accordingly as I kind of came up with them. We do have different layouts for Marketplace Direct, so if you don't like this layout, we do have, I think, 2 or 3 different layouts that we can go over with you. It forms right in your website. It's a simple iframe that we pop right in. So if you have any additional questions, I'm happy to answer them for you. If you all enjoyed this webinar, please give me feedback. You can email me, msmith@realnext.com. Say, hey, Matt, it was great. Hey, Matt, if you can go over a couple other things in the future, that would be beneficial. If you have any ideas for new webinars, that would be great. Or if there's anything you think I can improve upon, although I might be sensitive at first, I'll get over it. If you can give me any tips on how to improve for the future webinars, these are all about you. Thank you. I got smiley faces. This was good. You guys are flattering. I'm not feeling well today, and I'm telling you, having you guys say these great things is fantastic. It looks like Chris joined on twice, so he's doubly excited for this. Thank you, Melissa. You guys are fantastic. Well, look, you guys are all like family. Appreciate you. As always, have a great week. If you have any additional questions, we're all here for you. And looking forward to winning more business and more ways we can streamline and get maximum exposure. Fantastic, Dan. Always good to see you. Hopefully I'll come see you in Vegas sometime soon, buddy. Talk to everybody soon. See you guys. Have a great week.